Today we are going to graph using the X and Y intercepts. Some keywords that we need to know is the X-intercept. The X-intercept is the X-coordinate where the graph intersects the X-axis. Right here is our X-axis, and the intercept is where our line crosses the X-axis. For the y-intercept, it's the y-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. So here's our y-axis. The point where it crosses is right here. So the y-coordinate is the y-intercept. Doing some practice. We need to look at the graph to find the intercepts on the graph. The x-intercept, we look for the x-axis, and then we look for where our line crosses it. It crosses at the point -4, 0. So our x-intercept is -4. Our y-intercept, again, we look at the y-axis, and we look for where our line crosses it, which is at 0, -3. So our y-intercept is -3. When we are given a function and we want to find our x and y intercept, we're able to use the function. Remember, the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. Our y at that point is 0. So we will substitute 0 for our y and solve for x. So 3x minus 2 times 0 equals 12. 3x minus 0 equals 12. 3x equals 12. X, when we divide both sides by 3, x equals 4. And that is our x-intercept. For our y-intercept, if you remember, the y-intercept is where the point crosses the y-axis. So our x is 0 at that point. So we're going to substitute 0 for x. So 3 times 0 minus 2y equals 12. Put the 0 for the x. 3 times 0 is 0 minus 2y equals 12. -2y equals 12, so we divide both sides by -2, and we have that y equals -6. Our y-intercept is -6. We have another problem here where it says graph the function by finding the x-intercepts. Again, we plug in 0 for our y when we're finding the x. So we have 2x minus 4 times 0 equals 8. 4 times 0 is 0. So we have 2x equals 8. We divide both sides by 2. We have x equals 4. We go and graph. That is being 4, 0. Then we do our y-intercept to find the y where it crosses the y-axis, or x is 0, so we plug in 0 for x, and we set it up the same way. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 4y equals 8, gives us -4y equals 8. Divide both sides by -4. And we have y equals -2. So it crosses at -2. We put our dot on our y-intercept at -2, and then we connect with a straight line the two dots, and we put arrows on both ends. That is how we use our x and y intercepts.